France at the sickbed of Somalia. It is 1992 and these images set to change history. Bernard Kouchner, then French Minister of Health and Humanitarian Action, arrived in the capital Mogadishu, there to draw the world's attention to the crisis in Somalia. Clashes between clans and a catastrophic drought had caused severe famine. From then on, the civil war became one of the top international news stories. At the end of the year, the military humanitarian programme Restore Hope was launched, led by the US under the auspices of the UN. But it resulted in failure, notably in October 1993 at the Battle of Mogadishu, in which 19 American soldiers and hundreds of Somalis were left dead. The tragic episode inspiring a book and the Hollywood film directed by Ridley Scott, Black Hawk Down. Well, despite 2 decades of efforts with foreign aid and military help, Somalia remained ungovernable. Government troops continued to face off against Islamist militia, including the Shabab, affiliated to Al-Qaeda.
The United Nations has become a tool for infidels. We call on our fighters to pull the organisation apart, to wage war on it. If God wills it, we will win. Because the United Nations supports the United States.
The Shabab even imposed Sharia law in Mogadishu, and it was not until 2011 that they were finally driven out. And in 2012, a new president elected by the parliament. In today's Revisited, we follow the youngsters who've known nothing but war, who are trying to rebuild their lives. We also spend the day with the mayor of Mogadishu, perhaps overwhelmed by such a daunting task. This report from Stephanie Brackey and Duncan Woodside.
She captains the Somali national team. 20-year-old Suwais Ali Jama is passionate about basketball. She meets friends and young fans here every day. Under the Shabab, sport was forbidden and women had to wear a full veil.
One day, I wanted to defend the rights of my people.
I'm very happy to see my younger sister play basketball. I hope they'll take over from us one day.
Most girls here don't go to school because their parents can't afford to pay fees, or because priority is given to boys. But many boys are also happy to be free from the constraints of the Shabab's rule.
It was very hard, and you didn't have any choice. If you were taken by the Shabab, the government wanted to kill you. And if you were on the government side, the Shabab would eliminate you.
They relieve their boredom on the court. Here in Mogadishu, job opportunities are scarce unless you have qualifications.
The only thing I have on my mind is to leave Somalia, because there's nothing to do here. To grab one of those boats that go to Europe or elsewhere and try to obtain refugee status. But even if the opportunity was there, I don't have the money to pay for the journey.
After the brief freedom of the basketball court, it's straight home for most of these young girls. It's still not safe to be on the streets. For 20 years, the Somali capital has offered its youth nothing but a landscape of ruin and destruction. A generation has passed since the state collapsed in 1991. So, how do you rebuild a city from scratch? To answer this question, we met up with the mayor of Mogadishu. It's 8:30 in the morning. The working day has not yet even begun.
I sell things from a fridge, but I'd like to expand.
Okay.
I want you to help me establish a big shop.
Sorry, what do you want exactly?
I want to open a big shop.
And if I understand correctly, you want me to pay?
Where else could I find the money?
I can see that you've already undertaken something and you're seeking help, but listen, I can't just create things out of thin air.
He finally manages to escape. The race against the clock has begun for Mohammed Noor. Nicknamed Tarzan since childhood, he's been mayor for 3 years. Before he accepted the job, he ran an internet cafe in London. Tarzan travels in an armoured car, and 3 other vehicles with armed guards accompany him everywhere. He receives regular threats and has escaped several attacks. To outsiders who don't know the scale of the problem, his main aim may seem to lack ambition. That's to ensure that the battle-scarred streets are cleaned regularly.
You work? Can you even carry anything? How old are you?
100 years old.
100? What? Stop lying. Well, that's going to go, right?
Yes, we'll clean it up.
Is there more water?
Not a lot, but a little.
Listen, guys, everything must go.
There are 2 vehicles for that.
And these people who live in these villas, are they paying their share?
No.
Without a proper fiscal system, collecting revenues is a big challenge.
Guys with the big buildings, they do not contribute anything. And even they cannot clean in front of their big villas. And they don't pay tax. So the most meanest of this country are the rich people. They don't contribute anything and they don't pay tax.
The mayor has embarked on a crusade against illegal buildings, including those that block pavements. But the notion of a pavement is relative here in Mogadishu.
I swear, guys, you have no right to be here. Where are people supposed to walk? Have you thought about the blind? Are they supposed to walk on the road? All this has to be destroyed.
The whirlwind schedule resumes. Time on the streets is always limited. In Mogadishu, it's not wise to linger long in any one place. Next stop, another meeting. A huge market is under construction. Tarzan talks to traders who hope to be part of this enterprise and launches into a diatribe against the clan system.
We need a fair system which doesn't favour the powerful, a system that also guarantees the rights of minority clans. We must even prevent our own families from behaving badly. The powerful clans must leave the weak clans alone.
Here in Somalia, clan power bases have little by little filled the vacuum created by the collapse of the state.
Here there's no history of clans. It's part of the state, and what prevails is what the government says. This is going to be an international market. The real owners will come back, but only those who have the right titles will be authorized.
I had a shop in the market before the war. When the war escalated, everything was destroyed. There was nothing left. If the market is completed, I want to reopen my kiosk.
Originally a cattle market, this was a Shabab stronghold for nearly 4 years. Since the militants withdrew from the city, reconstruction has got underway. The new market will be modern, promises the mayor, with more than 300 stalls for traders.
They will put a lottery. We'll put the numbers. We put numbers to the shops. Then we'll put in a basket, so everyone will pick one. So wherever you get it, you get it. So you cannot say Tarzan give me the best one or did not give me, they cannot say. They have to, if they blame, they have to blame themselves because they have to blame their luck.
There had been little hint in his past that Tarzan would become mayor of Mogadishu. His political ambitions were initially in London, where he sought to become a local councillor. One day, out of the blue, he received a call from Somalia's then president, who asked him to run the municipality. But large swathes of territory were controlled by the Shabab. He thought long and hard before accepting. Today, he manages a lot of money and has been accused of corruption.
People will tell, I believe I'm not corrupt, and I believe I fight against corruption. But people will tell, the history will tell.
By taking on the job, he knows he's made a lot of enemies.
I remember when I was leaving my family, I said that, you know, I will accept the job, and it's a high risk, and she should prepare the children that one day they may hear from the news that I have been assassinated. So I say, prepare yourself that time. So I prepare my family, I prepare my children to accept that if I lose my life while I'm doing this. So anyway, I'll die one day. No one dies two times.
It's something you hear Tarzan say a lot, and he's far from alone in what is still a dangerous city. We reconnect with Suez and her friends. They've decided to go to a restaurant instead of home because inviting foreign visitors could attract unwanted attention.
Why is there this big line of cars?
It's to control security. It's a checkpoint. They're checking identity documents now.
The restaurant is new and well guarded. In February, a car bomb killed 2 people in this parking lot. Suez, Zamzam and Fartoon don't eat out very often, so they savour the moment of escape.
We had many problems before. We couldn't go out of the house. We had to stay inside all the time. Now we can walk in the city.
I couldn't dress like this before. I had to wear the hijab and the niqab because I'm a known basketball player. I had to hide my face and couldn't leave the house.
Aside from the war and the risk of being attacked, their preoccupations are similar to other girls of their age.
This guy's not straightforward. He wanted to marry you while he was with someone else.
He told the guys that he was the one who would stay with Dalka.
Really? That's what he said?
Yes, because Dalka is naive and always believed his lies. But now she's broken up with him.
So now he wants to come back.
Yes, that's what Dalka told me.
The seafront is the big new attraction in Mogadishu. Many Somalis returning from abroad come here to relax and reminisce about the past.
The destruction that I see, the neighborhoods where I used to live and places that I used to play, the schools that I went to, they're all destroyed. It's a sense of really sadness.
Before, it was a life-threatening thing, and everybody went out because of, threats coming from mainly warlords, Shabab, and those kind of things. But things seem to be a little bit improving.
The Somali capital was for centuries a commercial hub and a cosmopolitan city with Persian, Arab, Indian and European influences. For the pre-war generation, there is at last a glimmer of hope that Mogadishu will reclaim its status as a pearl of the Indian Ocean.
The daunting task of recovery for the people of Mogadishu. Well, that's today's Revisited. Stay tuned, of course, for more editions. Thanks for watching.